Hello and welcome to the GM overview for the Gatewalkers Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. For those new here, my adventure overviews are divided into two parts over two videos. In this first video, I will discuss the themes and general story of the campaign, but it will be objective in tone and somewhat light on spoilers, especially regarding the adventure's final act. This is so GMs can get an idea of what the adventure is about, but not spoil so much that they wouldn't be able to enjoy the adventure as a player should they watch this and then decide not to GM it themselves. Part 2 will be for those GMs who want more information. In that video, I will present my personal thoughts about the adventure as well as full context for the parts of the story that are missing from the Part 1 video. In the Part 2 video, I will also answer questions that are posted to the comments section here. Gatewalkers is a 3-book adventure path that takes players from 1st to 11th level and focuses on a mysterious event known as the Missing Moment. 6 months prior to the start of the campaign, elven teleportation portals all over Golarion suddenly activated with a bright white light that beckoned onlookers to enter. Some people who passed through a gate on this night were never seen again, and those who did return have no memory of what occurred while they were gone. This period of memory loss afflicted on those who passed through the gate is known as the Missing Moment, and those who passed through the gates are known as Gatewalkers. The players are all Gatewalkers who stepped through a gate and returned 3 months later with no memory of what occurred during that time. They were, however, changed during those missing 3 months, as they all have the same runic shape tattooed on their necks and have developed mysterious psychic powers. The Gatewalkers Adventure Path uses the deviant power rules found in the Pathfinder Dark Archives book. Every player in the campaign will have access to deviant abilities which will grow in power as the campaign progresses. To aid this, the Gatewalkers Player's Guide offers 6 new rare backgrounds, each of which provides a starting deviant feat and ability. The overarching themes of this campaign include the occult, cosmology, deviant abilities, mystery, paranormal intrigue, and cold environments as the campaign's second half takes place in the icy north. It is also worth mentioning that Gatewalkers is similar in tone to Strange Aeons from 1st edition, in that they both deal heavily with the occult, mysteries, and players suffering from amnesia. Book 1, The Seventh Arch. The story begins with the players working in the employment of a paranormal investigator named Dr. Edward Riddleson. Together, they travel to Seven Arches, a region of land in the southwestern river kingdoms named for 7 ancient elven arches. On the night of the Missing Moment, all 7 arches activated as magic portals, and the Doctor has decided to begin his investigation into the Missing Moment here. The players discover that a local man named Bolin, who is a fellow Gatewalker, has stolen the key to open the 7th portal and fled the city. They are tasked with finding him and returning the key. Their journey to find Bolin will lead them through a dangerous forest filled with fae to a giant treehouse where the traitor hides. The exploration of this treehouse plays out as a 13-room dungeon filled with druids and fae before they find Bolin. This confrontation leads the players in a new direction. Afterwards, they must seek out a dangerous boogeyman who lives in the woods to find the stolen portal key. This process uses the investigation system from the Game Mastery Guide, and the players must pursue leads and earn investigation points to learn more about the enemy and how to find him. The investigation will involve traditional library research, interviewing one of the boogeyman's victims, and examining a crime scene. Eventually, all roads lead to a shadowy section of the First World known as the Thinlands. In this alternate plane of existence, they will navigate a 12-room dungeon and face many bizarre residents of the First World before locating and ultimately dealing with the boogeyman. Victory, however, is short-lived, as the players will need to take a very, very inconvenient route to return back to the material plane. Book 2, They Watched the Stars. In the second book of the campaign, the players return to the material plane, but not at the place where they left. Instead, they appear inside an ancient observatory in the city of Skywatch. Skywatch is an infamously insular community that kept its gates barred to outsiders for the past 20 years, but sometime after the missing moment, the city was found with its gates wide open and completely abandoned. Where the citizens of Skywatch have gone or what became of them is unknown, but since their disappearance, the city has become occupied by thieves, treasure hunters, and raiders. Here the players meet a young seer named Sakuachi, and it soon becomes clear that they are tied together by fate. Sakuachi is on a mission to seal away a great evil, but doing so will require her to travel to the Sakura Scar and kill a living god. The first part of Book 2 revolves around the player's efforts to escort the young seer safely out of Skywatch. To some degree, this chapter gives me Escape from New York vibes, where the setting is a previously civilized city that is now overrun by criminals with differing goals and methods. The most likely route out of the city will call for the players to board a raft and set sail west towards Sarkoris. However, their raft is unlikely to be sturdy enough to carry them that far, so they will need to stop at a ship graveyard to find a sturdier vessel. The players find a suitable ship, but it is unfortunately encased in ice. Freeing it will call for them to explore a nearby temple dedicated to Ragadan the Water Lord. This is a 9-room dungeon crawl filled with undead and one naiad queen. Completing this exploration provides the players with a magic ritual that can free their new ship from the ice and allow them to continue their voyage. This is not without its own dangers though, as the players will need to deal with pirates and an epic snowstorm before they reach their destination, a port city in Mendev. There they will be given a proper Mendevian welcome, which basically means they're accused of consorting with demons. After proving their good intentions, the players join a caravan that takes them into the Sakura Scar, which is a wasteland that was destroyed by the demonic world wound and the resulting crusades. In the final chapter of Book 2, the players and the young seer Sakuachi arrive in Domora, the ruined home of the first god Caller, who was famous for summoning gods. To help the seer complete her mission, the players will first need to investigate these ruins. This calls for another investigation challenge using the investigation system from the Game Mastery Guide. The players will visit a library, the site of an ancient battle, and a temple to learn more about the gods that once walked here and may still. This investigation is no simple matter, as the ruined city is now home to demons, a zombie dragon, and other forces that complicate the player's investigation. Eventually, they will learn of a god that was once summoned to aid Domora and may still be imprisoned in a cistern beneath the city. This plays out as a 14-room dungeon crawl with a mix of environmental sewer dangers and demons. Book 3, Dreamers of the Nameless Spires. By the end of Book 2, the players will have aided Sakuachi, the seer, in completing one of her missions, and then must continue towards the crown of the world. Fortunately, this route will take the party through the town of Lepidstadt, home of Dr. Edward Riddleson, their benefactor who they have not seen since entering the First World back in Book 1. Unfortunately, the Doctor is still away doing research, but the players will have an opportunity to learn more about him as well as meet several other Gatewalkers who have relocated to the Doctor's mansion as part of his research. After a brief stay here, they will continue on to the frozen hell that is Golarian's North Pole and a site of ruins called the Nameless Spires. And now, as is custom with these Part 1 videos, I'm going to stop there because it's almost impossible to discuss the campaign further without heavy spoilers. But suffice to say, the players will be reunited with Dr. Riddleson, they'll learn more about Gatewalkers, the source of their deviant powers, what they were doing during the several months they were missing, and ultimately they will confront the mysterious entity behind the missing moment and prevent it from inflicting more damage upon the world of Golarion. So there you have it, an overview of Gatewalkers for prospective GMs. I will be following up this video with another that shares my personal take on the campaign, so be sure to leave any questions you may have in the comments of this video and I'll try to address those that I can. Just keep in mind that I have not played this campaign, I've only read through it, so I may not be able to answer some things such as encounter balance. The second video will also discuss all of the spoiler material I omitted from this video. And as always, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who supports me, whether that's by clicking the like button, subscribing to the Patreon, subscribing to the channel, or buying a super thanks. Thank you for all of your support. With that, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.